thinking that he was going to be congratulated.
You know, no, you know what you did was wrong. Tell you what, put a jersey on. You so tough, put a jersey on. Put a jersey on. You so tough, put a jersey on. You so tough, put a jersey on. I win some more games. I tell you what, the only one that's going to win is the fall. You better go on. You better tell your ass on.
So this play you just witnessed here was a reaction from Packers head coach Mike Sherman after the game in response to a play Warren Sapp had just made earlier.
Run sack.
The NFL has had a long history of cheap shots on the field of play throughout its history. Emotions run high in these games as there's a lot of adrenaline pumping in the bodies of these players, and sometimes these hits can lead to serious injuries or have long-lasting effects. One particular cheap shot that led to the game-ending mayhem you just witnessed was when Bucs D-tackle and Hall of Famer Warren Sapp laid out Packers O-lineman Chad Clifton with a hit many deemed to be dirty. This happened in Week 12 of the 2002 season after the NFL realigned its divisions. However, this game still had all the feels of an old division rivalry game, and you knew the players were going to play with that extra motivation. So midway through the third quarter, with the Green Bay Packers up 7-6, Brett Favre threw a wild pass down the middle intended for receiver Terry Glenn, but was picked off by Brian Kelly, who proceeded to return the ball for about 30 yards. And during that play, away from all the action, you could see Chad Clifton on this clip just jogging over gingerly before he was leveled by Warren Sapp. From the replay, you could see Sapp launching himself at Clifton, leaving his feet before the offensive tackle laid motionless on the field. That's over 300 pounds of flesh torpedoing right at you. There was no penalty on the play, and it would be moments later when Packers players and coaching staff would soon become outraged as they saw the D-tackle celebrating on the sidelines on the in-stadium jumbotron. So after the game, where the Bucs came out on top 21-7, players and coaches began making the rounds of shaking hands. Warren Sapp, upon finishing his post-game interview with Pam Oliver, went over to a few of the Packers coaches, but was met by an angry Mike Sherman who said something to trigger him. And you could see Sapp kind of lose it for a moment, yelling at the Packers coach to put on a jersey. Now I'm going to be honest, this is one of the worst times to confront an opposing player. These guys are still pumping with so much adrenaline, and that's why players often need time to cool down before doing their media rounds. In any event, after the game, things didn't really cool down as much as Warren addressed the media by going on to say, "If I was 25 years old and didn't have a kid and a conscience, I would have given him an ass kicking right there at the 30-yard line. I've got 2 or 3 blockers on me, we get a pick, Brian Kelly's running all over the field. I see a guy coming at my man, I put a lick on him. What's the problem? I didn't hit him below the waist, there's no flag on the play. Is this not a contact sport? 9 referees on the field didn't find anything wrong with it, and I'm sure they're looking at 99. And Packers head coach Mike Sherman was a little less heated in his response as he told the media, "When a guy is numb on the ground, you're responsible, and you're happy about it, it bothers me a little bit. Warren's a great player, I just said I didn't appreciate that type of play. I just don't think there's any place in the game for that."